it going, you guys? Welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Maddison Hill, and yes, it's time for another Pop Off with Maddison. For today's Pop Off, I'm talking about my absolute fave, Taylor Swift, and all the tea that has been going down since she re-released her album Red, Taylor's version, and let's be honest, that scathing 10-minute version of All Too Well. So first up, we're going to talk about Jake Gyllenhaal because we now know what exactly Jake Gyllenhaal was doing when Taylor Swift premiered her short film that goes along with the 10-minute version of All Too Well. Shockingly, he didn't decide to stay home and reflect on some of his past choices, which really bothers me, but that's okay. We're gonna get into it. I'm also going to give you guys a little background information as to why Jake Gyllenhaal is being brought up so much, because I did get several messages from you guys asking, okay, I'm confused. What the heck? Why are people talking about Jake Gyllenhaal and Taylor Swift? Don't worry, I'll get you up to speed. On top of that, we're also gonna talk about Taylor Swift and her performance on SNL because another House of Hill fave was there, aka Taylor Swift's bestie, Selena Gomez. The two reunited in an iconic TikTok, and they also went out for the SNL after party along with a few of Taylor's other famous friends. And then in addition to talking about all of that, I had to mention that Taylor Swift released another music video today for her song I Bet You Think About Me. It's directed by Blake Lively, her other friend, and oh my gosh, it is so freaking good. So yeah, we have a lot of Taylor Swift news to discuss, and you can probably tell that I'm very excited by it because for those of you who don't know, I am a major Swiftie. I've always been a big Taylor Swift fan and probably always will. So just go ahead and prepare yourselves now for the Swiftie and me to absolutely jump out during this video. But before we get into all of that, because this is the first pop-off of the week, I want to check in and see how the House of Hill is doing. So make sure you guys let me know how you are and how your weekend was down below. I personally had a great weekend. I spent time with friends and my parents, and I'm really trying to go into this week with a positive attitude, a positive mentality, manifesting all of the good things because your girl has been stressed lately, and that is just no way to live. So I'm really trying to work on letting go of some of my stress and angst, which is not easy for me. I know I'm still probably gonna struggle, but in case you're right there with me, I wanted to know you're not alone and we're working through this together. All right, enough about me because I know you straight to the tea people are probably dying at this long intro. You're like, Maddison, hurry it up. So I'm not gonna waste any more of your time. So go ahead and help out your fellow straight to the tea people and put this time code down there in the comments, and let's go ahead and get to unwrapping these Taylor Swift facts. All right, so first up, let's get into all of this Jake Gyllenhaal and All Too Well tea. First, I'm gonna give you guys a little background information for those of you who aren't diehard Swifties like myself. So Taylor Swift and Jake Gyllenhaal were first spotted together in October of 2010, and then they ended up breaking up 3 months later. It's worth mentioning that their relationship was highly criticized at this time because of their 9-year age difference, and this was also around the time when Taylor Swift was, you know, being a normal 20-year-old and dating around, and people decided to shame her for it. Whew. Anyway, when Taylor Swift originally released her album Red, Swifties were quick to go through the songs and try to figure out which ones were about Jake Gyllenhaal. And that, of course, included the now fan favorite, All Too Well. Now, originally, the song All Too Well was never a single. It never had a music video. It's honestly just a song that a ton of fans, including myself, latched onto, and it became an absolute fan favorite. Now, after Taylor's original release of All Too Well, rumors started that she actually had a 10-minute version of this song. This is something that Taylor Swift actually confirmed herself during an interview with Rolling Stone last year when she reflected on recording that 10-minute version, saying, quote, "It was a day when I was just like a broken human, walking into rehearsal and just feeling terrible about what was going on in my personal life. I ended up sort of just playing 4 chords over and over again, and the band started kicking in. I think they could tell I was really going through it. I just started singing and riffing and sort of ad-libbing this song that was basically All Too Well." So that now brings us to what's happening currently, because as you all know by now, Taylor Swift finally released that 10-minute version of All Too Well. Whew. And let me tell you, if you couldn't tell she was talking about Jake Gyllenhaal before, you absolutely can tell now. The upper lip sweat is already starting talking about Jake Gyllenhaal, but we must continue. Now, in addition to releasing that 10-minute version of All Too Well on her album, Taylor Swift also released a short film to the song that she directed. The short film also stars Dylan O'Brien, who I have now seen the light, people. I understand the obsession, and Sadie Sink. And while the internet was absolutely roasting Jake Gyllenhaal, as they should, over this All Too Well short film, we now know what he was doing when all of this was going down. Ironically, Jake Gyllenhaal was with his sister Maggie, and I say ironically because you guys know, if you've listened to All Too Well, Taylor Swift references the fact that she left her scarf at his sister's place. I just want to make sure all of us are in on the joke because I know not all of us are hardcore Swifties. But anyway, according to E! News, Jake was at the Hamilton Behind the Camera Awards in LA. His sister, Maggie, was presented with the award for Breakthrough Director, and Jake also presented an award for sound editing. So clearly, Jake Gyllenhaal is not sweating the fact that there's a large majority of people out there who think that he's the absolute worst. Now, in addition to releasing her album and that short film, Taylor Swift also performed on SNL this weekend. One of the songs she performed, of course, was that 10-minute version of All Too Well. Shocker, not shocker, she absolutely killed it, and to make the moment even more sweet, she had some of her famous friends in the audience, including Blake Lively and Ryan Reynolds, Cara Delevingne, and of course, the one and only Selena Gomez. To make the moment that much sweeter, Selena and Taylor even filmed this iconic TikTok, proving their best friendship is still intact and going strong. Now, in addition to this TikTok, Selena Gomez also joined Taylor Swift for the SNL after party alongside Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively and Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner. Also, PSA, Joe Alwyn, aka Taylor Swift's boyfriend, was not there for her SNL performance or the after party because he's working. He's currently filming in Panama, and because of the travel restrictions, he just couldn't go back and forth. So for all of those people who were thinking that Taylor and Joe have trouble in paradise, think again. Anyway, back to talking about Blake Lively, because she made her directorial debut in the music video that Taylor Swift released today. The video stars Miles Teller, who I also absolutely love. And you guys, it is just so well freaking done. I highly recommend, if you haven't watched it yet, you go ahead and watch it, or if you've only watched it once, go ahead and watch it again. All right, I know I've been throwing a lot of Taylor Swift information at you guys, and obviously I want to pop off about it and give you my thoughts. So let's go ahead and just make this pop off official and get to that shambong. One must sing All Too Well during today's pop off. Okay, so first of all, I feel the need to tell you guys that I am absolutely obsessed with the 10-minute version of All Too Well. I loved that song when it originally came out. If you've ever heard me talk about Taylor Swift, you know I always say that is my all-time favorite Taylor Swift song, and the 10-minute version absolutely did not disappoint. I mean, if you follow me on Instagram, you probably saw me all weekend talking ish on Jake Gyllenhaal, and honestly, I still stand by it. I mean, between the 10-minute version and the All Too Well short film, I think it is very obvious that although Jake and Taylor were only together for 3 months, that 3 months was extremely serious, probably more serious than anyone ever thought. And now I just feel like Taylor Swift is finally vindicated for writing those songs, because at the time when she released songs about Jake Gyllenhaal, everyone was criticizing her, telling her to get over it. It was only a 3-month relationship. Why are you so upset about this? Well, now we clearly see why she was so upset, because hello, they were very freaking serious. And Jake Gyllenhaal was clearly just the absolute freaking worst. Anyway, getting back on track here, the fact that Jake Gyllenhaal was with his sister when all of this All Too Well stuff was going down is just, friggin' hilarious to me. Because as I mentioned earlier, Taylor Swift sings in her song about how she left her scarf at his sister's place, and Maggie Gyllenhaal during all of this has always just remained so coy and acting like she has no idea why Taylor Swift would ever sing about her in a song. If you don't know what I'm talking about, Andy Cohen even asked Maggie Gyllenhaal if she still had Taylor Swift's scarf during an appearance on Watch What Happens Live back in 2017. Take a look at what she said.
You know, I never understood why everybody asked me about this scarf.
The scarf.
What is this?
I love how she tries to deny and act like she doesn't know what anyone's talking about when we all know she most likely does. So I just feel like it's very ironic that when all of this was going down, of course Jake Gyllenhaal was with his sister Maggie. And also just a little added tea for you guys, for my really diehard Swifties. According to Dumois, somebody did have in their possession Taylor Swift's scarf, and according to this Dumois post, they are in the process of getting it back to Taylor. Yes. Okay, moving on. As far as Taylor Swift reuniting with Selena Gomez at SNL, of course, I was absolutely living for it. And I think I love it so much more this time around, because I did see people online talking about the fact that Selena Gomez didn't publicly post about Taylor Swift releasing Red. But I think the fact that she personally went to Saturday Night Live, she was backstage, she was there at the after party, they made that TikTok, I think that actually goes to show that their friendship is so much more genuine and authentic than just some posts on social media. Like, they definitely always make sure they show up for each other personally, and in my opinion, that's way more important than somebody posting on their Instagram story. I don't know, of course I probably sound biased because I clearly love Taylor Swift, and you guys know I love Selena Gomez, so of course I'm always going to be here for their friendship, but I truly do just love how both of these women are always in each other's corners no matter what. And real quick, I also want to mention that I absolutely love the friendship that Taylor Swift has with Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner, because I feel like Taylor Swift, some people like to throw around the fact that she likes to play victim, she's bitter, she likes to hold grudges. Well, clearly she doesn't, because yes, she dated Joe Jonas. They were young. It was so silly. Yes, she used to be upset about it, but she's clearly not anymore. Clearly, they are both so far over that. So I just really love her friendship with Joe Jonas and Sophie Turner, because I feel like all of those haters who like to say all of those negative things about her definitely have to eat their words now. Yes, of course, Taylor Swift writes songs about her relationships and her experiences, as she should. I feel like that's what makes her such a good artist. But clearly, just because she's made songs about these people that may or may not have been negative at the time doesn't mean that she can't move on and grow as a human. So I don't know, I just love to see Joe Jonas and Taylor Swift partying together as adults with their significant others. Also, I'm a big fan of Taylor Swift's friendship with Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively, and I think I just love it so much because it's a friendship that a lot of people don't understand and that a lot of people question, and I feel like that's what makes it so amazing, that those three people are the only ones who know what makes that friendship work. And I love even more that Blake Lively's directorial debut was for a Taylor Swift music video for the song I Bet You Still Think About Me, because that is one of my absolute favorite songs from the vault. I love Chris Stapleton as well. His harmonies on that are so freaking amazing. So I don't know, I'm just living for this music video. There are funny moments in the music video. There are moments where I was absolutely shook, like, I don't know, when she gives the bride the scarf. Just all around so freaking good. And the last thing I'm gonna say is I just really, really love how Taylor Swift continues to make music that is so freaking relatable. It's relatable to her fans. It's relatable to me. You guys, she is just so freaking talented. Before you guys go, make sure you let me know all of your thoughts on all of this Taylor Swift tea down below. Also, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up. Make sure you hit that subscribe button and don't forget that notification bell. For more content, make sure you follow me over on Instagram and TikTok. And of course, don't forget to keep coming back to my channel to check out my YouTube shorts. You guys can also find all of my merch over at my merch store at houseofhill.com. And on that note, I'll see you guys next time. Bye.